What's good? It's Music Nick, and today I just want to make a quick video talking about some simple music theory that you can use to help you when writing melodies for your trap beats. All I've got here is FL keys and a sampler. We're going to go up to this stamp tool here. You can't see the drop down menu the way my OBS records, but if you go down to the scale section, I want you to grab a natural minor. It says minor natural Aeolian. I'm going to grab that. And for now, let's just take one row of that. So we'll just take one row of that on C5. And let's quickly talk about what this scale actually means. We're going to talk in C because C is kind of just like the home base in music. I have a C minor natural scale pulled up. If you take any degree of this scale and you skip a note in it, you can always create a chord out of it. Always. It'll always make a chord. So that's our C minor chord. Our scale here has degrees. So a scale has degrees. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then it goes to the octave, which is where it starts repeating again. And then within that, we can make triads, so 3-note chords. And each of those 3-note chords has degrees as well. So whatever our bass note is, the root note is going to be the root note, or the first degree of our chord. So we'll build a chord starting at D sharp. So D sharp is it's the third of our scale. It's the 1, 2, 3. It's the third of our scale, but for this chord we're creating, it's going to be the root note. So if D sharp is our root note within the C minor natural scale, if we want to make a chord starting from D sharp, we would then skip the next note, which is F, and go to G. So we'd have G, and then we would skip the next note after G, which is G sharp, and then go up to A sharp. So that's going to build our D sharp chord within the C minor natural scale. Sounds like that. So we have scale degrees, and then we have chord degrees. Why does any of this information matter? Why do we care about scale degrees, and why do we care about chord degrees? If you're having trouble writing melodies, you should first study existing melodies. So what I'm gonna do is, so we have our C minor natural scale pulled up, all the ghost notes in there. I'm gonna go on Google right now. I'm just gonna Google, so I just Googled common chord progressions natural minor. The first thing that pops up is, all right, so here's why we had to go over that jargon at first, because here's what it says. It just throws Roman numerals at us because that's how chords are written. But all that's saying is, got the I, the VI, the triple I, VII. That's just talking about, it's saying if you're in this minor natural scale, if you make chords starting at these root note degrees within that, you'll get something that sounds good. So they're saying if we go first, sixth, third, seventh, it should sound good if I'm reading Roman numerals right. If we're gonna make a chord progression with first, sixth, third, seventh, and we learned what that means now. So let's see if they're lying to us. Let's see if we like that. So we're gonna go first. So that's the first. What they say, first, sixth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first, the sixth, the third. So 1, 2, 3, and then the seventh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. So that's what they're telling us. They're telling us make a chord progression like this. It's going to be a common chord progression. And so we're making our, sorry, I should have explained that. So we got like our root notes here, like they said. So when they said first, sixth, third, seventh, they were talking about the root notes within our scale here. And our scale is the natural minor scale. So we got the first, sixth, third, seventh. Now we're going to build our chords. So so those are our scale degrees, but now we're going to think about our chord degrees. So our chord degrees are now root, skip the second, go to the third, skip the fourth, go to the fifth. Now this is the root, so skip the second, go to the third, skip the fourth, go to the fifth. This is the root, so now this is the second, third, fourth, fifth, root, second, third, fourth, fifth. So now we got each of our chords. Yeah, that sounds like some common ass shit. But now let's have some fun with it and make it make more sense. So the next thing we can do with these chords is we can invert them. This is a more like proper, this is like music theory right here, man. Inversion, we're going to be inverting chords. This is proper music theory. So with our C, this is our first chord right here. So if we want to do the first inversion, I think this is first inversion. So like inverting the chord is when you take something and you put it somewhere else. So we put that down an octave. So we just inverted that. First inversion. It's got the top note on the bottom now. Now we're going to second inversion. So now it's totally fucked up and got the top two notes on the bottom. Totally backwards. So it's second inversion. But fuck all that noise. Put that back up there. Let's invert it a different way. Instead, let's invert it by putting the root note up at the top. So it actually is, this is actually second inversion again. So earlier when I said, fuck all that noise, I don't want like that, that was second inversion, so we're just going to put up an octave. So we just did hella music theory technically, man. We just had our original chord here, right, man? And we were like, yo, I want to make this second inversion, but up an octave. All we really did is just go like that. But, so all you did in FL Studio is grab that and go up one with control and up. But that's in music theory terms, that's like second inversion, up an octave or some shit. I could be making that up, but like, so like music theory, you don't need to know it, just like fancy words like that, but we're gonna keep going with it. And to make this more, so now let's invert this too. So we're gonna invert that. So now look at how close together those chords are. Those chords used to be hella different and it used to be this huge jump in sound, but now we made them very close together and fuck it, let's invert those two. So now look at that, chord progression used to be like super spread out. But now that we've inverted a few things, it's very much close together. And that sounds like some super common like pop type shit. So boom, right there, we just built a super easy, super common chord progression. And we can even, then maybe, yeah, so, and then we'll take that, we'll double it, and maybe we'll put that note up there for shits on the second one. So like, boom, super easy chord progression. Actually, we'll invert that right there. We could even should probably do it like that actually, so we'll leave that like that. So we'll invert. So there, we inverted the thirds because we know now each of our triads here are built of the root, third, fifth. So we inverted our thirds, so at the end here we have some kind of like downward resolution. Makes it a little dramatic. So boom, there we go. We just made a super common chord progression. But now, how do we make it into our own? Well, we know anything that we write up here is going to be in keys. So now we can just start experimenting. And this one you can start having fun knowing what kind of, so notice in our C minor natural scale, there's two spots right here where we have two notes right next to each other. That's going to add some tension. So, have some fun with those tension spots. Fuck it, let's make it super repetitive and just put this here again. Alright, so then we just threw some notes up there. We just had some fun with it, kind of going up and down. And like I said, we had those two tension points. So I was like, I wanted to add a little bit of tension in here. So I just made two little things starting on those. We just kind of played around with those little tension notes right there where there's just the half step because that kind of adds a little dissonance. So made a simple chord progression, just had some fun, experimented with some notes on the top of it. And then we got something coming together right there. So we use our simple knowledge of just getting our chord, getting in our scale, so we know we're in. Don't be afraid to use the ghost notes. Don't just try to freeball it. Like, there's no point in freeballing it. It's like trying to do math without a calculator. There's no fucking point. Pull out your calculator. It's on your phone right here. Pull out your calculator. Your ghost notes are right here. Pull them out on the stamp tool and put them on there, and then you'll know every single time I'm in C minor natural. I'm gonna be in tune. I'm gonna be in the right chord progression. Like, I can just I can use simple knowledge with chord progressions and then invert them and make them sound good together. And then I can throw notes on the top and have top lines and they can come together really easily, right? So then you can take that super simple FL keys thing, and then instead you can go and get, if you have Electra, and then you can go to musicnickbeats.com and download the Andromeda ARP bank for free. And you can have 50 ARPs. You can just pull up any ARP, like this full moon ARP, take this chord progression, and now all of a sudden it's going to be this crazy sound. Except for that one wasn't as fast as I need one that's faster that I can get those top notes. So boom, if you're still learning, now you understand. The only thing you need to understand is those natural minor scale, or any of those simple scales. So natural minor scale, or like the harmonic minor scale, any of those minor scales, you're going to be able to use the idea of just making triads, skipping a note in the chord, and skipping a note in the scale. You can make your chords, and then you can just mess around with it and have fun. It's really about repetition and practicing it repeatedly. So when I showed you, we could just Google it. We Googled the simple chord progression, first, sixth, third, seventh. So we inverted it so they're closer together. We made this, we threw a top line on it. So now this is unique. This was a very common thing, but now we made it unique with this top line, and we made it super unique by throwing it into this crazy ARP that we had. And so now it's no longer just this simple thing, but it's rooted in this simple thing, because simplicity is really key. So that's an example of why simplicity in music is key. We just Googled the most common chord progression possible, but then we built it into something that we like and sounds good. So let's then layer on one more ARP. And then, you know, we can spice it up. And then we can pull up some like arcade. Hooked here, we're going to this, we're going to minor, we'll say C minor. I fuck with this Cody Space Kid at Junkie Super Hard. It's very nice. Let's grab that 808. Sounds pretty dope. So, important thing. So next, the last part about our melody is our 808 is like a melodic instrument. So we want to make sure that that is in tune. So we're going to put it into our mixer down here. We're going to open up, not Maximus, fuck off. We're going to open up new tone. We're going to open up the 808. We're going to pull it onto here. We're going to center it with that knob, but it's already on C. If it wasn't on C, we'd pull it onto C. Just kidding, no we wouldn't. We'd click it on here. Fuck off with that shit. So anyway, it's in C. We put it on here. If it wasn't in C, we go over here, we click it on to the note that it's actually on with the right. We'd right click on here on the note that we'd actually want it on. So, but now it's on C. We got it where we want it. So now we can just go follow the notes of our chords, mostly just the root note, and then, you know, we can stylize it subtly if we want to. But for the most part, we're just going to follow the root note here. So like C. But here we might want to go up an octave there. Alright, then we're going to go simple parametric EQ2 mastering chain 30 by 18K haircut, parametric EQ2 30 by 18K haircut, and then we're going to go soft clipper, threshold 16.7, post gain 92%. A simple banger going on there, but hopefully, if I wasn't just being too much of a crazy person, if I actually explained it correctly, hopefully this just shows you how you can start simply and build cool stuff with just simple knowledge of using a scale, making chords within that scale, yeah, that's really it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. It's Music Nick. Hit that like button if you found this to be helpful. Drop a comment. Let me know if this made sense at all, or if it was just random crazy rambling from me. And yeah, appreciate y'all. Music Nick. Hit the subscribe button. We're making beats. We're uploading every single day. Thank you for being here. I'm out of here. Peace.